Hi guys, Ryuu here from Blender Bros, and in this modeling video we're gonna be designing sort of like a piece of an engine block. Let's go. Alright, so we're gonna start with a circle. Shift A, and let's just drop a circle so it's a flat geometry. And we're gonna go here and change the number of verts to 50, and we're going to duplicate this circle. Let me just press period numpad key so I can zoom in. There we go. Shift D and move it somewhere here. I'm gonna select both of them, Shift D these, right mouse button to cancel, go to vert mode E, Z and F, and I'm gonna grab these two and M, new collection and 1. If you would like to learn more about add-on workflow, especially hard ups and box cutter, I highly recommend our free course, Sci-Fi Terminal Design in Blender, which will teach you a lot about hard ups, box cutter, and how to work with hard surfaces and add-on in Blender. It's a free course, link in the video description. Now what I want to do here is I want to create a backup of these two. Just turn it off in render so they're not going to pop in render view, because I want to have two cylinders exactly where these circles are located. I'll show you later why, okay? So we're going to combine them into one, so Control J, so they're one object now, and we're going to start, kind of merging them. So we could merge them in here with the J, and in fact, let me just first remove these verts here. So delete these verts and delete these verts, okay? And here J or F. And let me just think here. Now this could be going slightly down here, so we could remove all these with machine tool. Press 1. If you don't know how to use machine tools, watch my video on machine tools. There we go, this should work. We could extend it here like this, and then extrude it somewhere here, and maybe over here. So let's just move this, hang on, let's just move it somewhere here maybe. So let me just combine that and combine these two. 1, we see that now. Yeah, that's better, flows much more naturally. That's really cool. Awesome. Cool. So here we're gonna grab these two and we're going to Shift Control B them. You can create maybe like 6 of these here, and here we're gonna combine these two verts. So click, shift click and 1. This is a smart vert from machine tools. Like I said, go ahead and watch my videos if you don't know what I'm doing. We're going to create this kind of a flow here that flows really nicely. Select everything, press F, E, and extrude it, and we're good to go. Now we're going to just sharpen this. Okay, so now with this shape done, make sure that you're going to save that because you don't want to lose it. What we're going to do is we're going to recover this collection here, these two cylinders. We're going to grab them to local view, and we're going to clean them up a little bit with machine tools in edit mode. Click here, alt click, press F, click here, alt click here, press F, and Alt V, and let's see if the orientation is correct. Orientation is correct, perfect. And let's go to, with both selected, go here to operations and shop, and so they're gonna be smooth, okay? Now we're going to press Shift S and move the origin to geometry respectively. Change this here to individual origins, and we're gonna scale them down, and now I can actually slice this. So difference and Shift 2. Shift 2 doesn't work because my collections are actually positioned differently. I want to have cutters above this collection number 1, so it's going to be collection number 2. So when I press Shift 2, I can recall my cutters very easily. Okay, I'm kind of used to that. So from the top view, you cannot see any detail because there is no bevel. So we're gonna add just a tiny bevel here, so we can actually see the outline of the object, and add weighted normals. Now we can start designing the shape cutouts in the middle. Now we're gonna grab an angle, we're gonna start cutting. So let me show you my idea here. I want to go along this edge here like this, alright? And here like this. You can hold Control to release angle snapping, and hold Control and go all the way here to maintain the edge distance more or less, and maybe somewhere here, okay? And then we're gonna press B for bevel and cut it, okay? So cut it down, shift click. Now we need to start actually fixing this because it's a mess, right? So we're going to recover these cutters first. So we recover one of these cylinders. Shift D, scale it up, okay. Grab this this cutter here, the main one. So let's go to Control, click on F scroll, press Tab, and you can recover this cutter manually here. Select this big cutter and this one, and let's actually make it, yeah, select this one and this one, and press Q and the boolean's difference, that's 1. Okay, let's recover this cutter here. We're gonna cut it in here like this with an end gun, maybe a little bit closer, so maybe somewhere here like that. All right, right, cut this, okay, and then we're gonna recover this one here in a corner. Shift D, scale it up, right, and again Control click Tab and recover this cutter, right, and we're gonna grab this massive shape here, this cutter in the middle, and boolean's difference, okay, and you're gonna get this kind of a cool shape. Now recover this cutter, okay, recover the cutter's cutter, which is the you know, the bigger circle here, so this one, and scale it up so it actually matches the other circle, okay. Now we can actually match the thickness of our mesh here like this, which I think is gonna be pretty cool. So recover this cutter and then the cutter's cutter, so the circle, and scale it down. Make sure you're in orthographic view here, and now you get this kind of a really cool even sort of you know, edge flow here, which looks pretty awesome. So now we can slice this shape, okay. So let's go to D menu and turn off this cyclic, okay, turn it off, and we're going to select this shape, right, orthographic top view, and we're gonna start slicing it. So slice it in here somewhere like that, okay, and then grab this cutter again, and we're going to slice it maybe like this here, kind of like an angle like that. If you want to, you know, change the thickness of it, just press T and you're gonna be able to change the thickness of it, alright. So kind of like this here maybe. That actually got reset for some reason, so let's grab a cutter and the cutter of the cutter, so this one, and let's just rotate it, so R and rotate it, and we can move it in here, okay. That's pretty cool, awesome. And we can actually create one more cut, you know, maybe like a smaller one here somewhere. So F scroll and one more cut here. So select this cutter and run another angle here, like this. This one could be run a little bit differently, to be honest. So let's just recover another cutter here. You can, you know, redesign them if you want to. You're not really committed until you apply the, you know, the cutters. So you can just keep playing with them, you know. Rotate them, move them. Gonna design your shape here inside. That looks a bit better. This could be a bit more aggressive. So one more time, recover the cutter, the small one, rotate it like this. And I think this is gonna be a bit more cool. So you got this kind of similar angle here coming out of these shapes. Let's just go to F scroll, and now what we're gonna do is we're going to apply this, okay. So go to operations and smart apply, and now we can start creating bevels manually. Now what you want to do is you want to clean that because you have a lot of rogue verts. So press 3 with machine tools and press W to turn on box cutter, because you may start doing, you know, weird shit. And I think, you know, 8 segments should be more than enough here. In situations like this, you may want to remove the verts, I mean the edges here too. You want to bevel these edges separately, so depending on an on an angle of an edge, you want to bevel them all at once. You just want to do it one by one. So here that's a similar angle, let's do that, and here is a similar angle as well. So we're gonna remove this one and run a bevel here. Could technically remove this one as well. Here we could bevel these two, but we need to remove this edge here. There we go. See, like, I'm gonna do it separately. I'm gonna do this one separately. This one definitely needs to be beveled differently. It's a much more tight bevel. Here, I'll remove this one and run the bevel like this, okay? And there you go, you got nice flowy shape. Probably want to fix this one here a little bit, so let's just go to over scroll and let me see that. We could fix this flow a little bit, so G and just literally move this one a little bit, okay? Just a bit. And there you go, that looks pretty decent to me. This flow here could be fixed as well a little bit, so let's see what's happening here. We could grab this edge and not this one, and just move it a little bit inside. It's gonna create a bit more of a smoother angle here. Just remember to do it in orthographic view, okay? You know, GG, and move it somewhere here, and just move it a little bit in. There you go. Flows a bit better. Now we got all these cutters at different length, right? So let's just go to Alt 8. So let's go here, Q, and Control click. And let me see. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. We only need the one in the middle, which is this one, and these two, right? Okay. So we're gonna go here, and what we can do now, we can either move one of these to the other one, or we can slice them all with one boolean, okay? So let's go to this square thing and slice them like that, and they're gonna be, you know, on the same depth, okay? Cool. So now let's go to Shift 2 and Alt H and grab these two cutters, right? These two in the middle. And we need to apply the boolean, okay? So because they cut, right? So booleans and operations and multiply, right? Now let's gonna grab these two faces on the bottom and I for inset and inset them quite deeply. E to extrude them, maybe not so high, maybe somewhere here, and then I to inset it and E to extrude it, and this should cut this through the mesh, right? Now here in the bottom, we're gonna do something else, but in a minute. So technically we could apply this for now. So we could just go here and operations multiply, and we can start working on these edges. So let's resharpen everything. Control Shift click on sharpen, and let's just, you know, click here, shift click here on this edge, and here, come on, in here, and go to Y with mesh machine and select Control S, Control B, and chamfer it a little bit. This bevel is too big, so we're gonna make it smaller. There we go. And we're gonna chamfer this and this. So Y and select and chamfer this as well. We're gonna chamfer this one around. And then we're gonna select all these bits in the middle. But before we do that, we need to fix these connections, okay? They're quite ugly. Especially these ones where going from edge to, okay, the corner to a corner. You don't want that, okay? You want to have clean connections here. So let's grab a knife, click, and right click, right click, and just create really nice, you know, clean perpendicular connections here. That's what you really want. Press space. Now I can probably remove all this junk here, right? Come on. This one doesn't want to get removed, that's fine. Let's combine these two. There we go. This one is fine here, and the rest I think is fine. So click here, shift click, and here, and then we're gonna go to Y, select, and, you know, create another chamfer, okay? Perfect. And let's set weighted normals to flex it. Now here at the bottom, what we could do is use the selection to boolean, okay, and inset it a bit like this, right? And then click and, you know, cut it through a bit and shift click, okay? Now don't go too deep because, you know, you may mess up the this cutout here, so you don't want to go too deep, but you want to go, you know, kind of deep enough for this cut to show. Here you see what's happening. It's a disaster. So here we're going to connect it like that with J, and we're gonna remove this ugly edge so everything is peachy. Now let's go to the bottom, and with this cutter selected, okay, this cutter, we're gonna run Angon without this cyclic, and we're going to draw it in here like this maybe. So let's do it again. Draw it from here, from the middle, and click, and then draw it in here and click, and draw it in here, okay, and click, right here too, one here, then one here. Actually, let's make this a bit more straight. There we go. And maybe one here, okay, and then we're going to combine them together through this shape. So let's select this shape again here, and we can make this a bit thicker now. So, you know, run, for example, one edge, we could run like this, okay, and we could then run another one, for example, like this. And how are we looking? That's pretty cool. Now we could run one more here, maybe like this, okay. And we could have one more, for example, here. Maybe even like this, you know. This could be interesting. There we go. That's a pretty cool design. I like that. And here, after we apply this, so, you know, Operation Smart Apply, we can select these and go to Y select. S select, and, you know, kind of chamfer it. Now, I'm not going to be running chamfer on these. You can if you want to. I'm not gonna be doing it because, you know, tempo is fugitive. So here in this one, I'm gonna create small cuts. So go to circle and turn on this snapping. Go to perspective, not orthographic, and hold control. And here we're going to draw a small circle. Now make sure that you don't have too many verts. So maybe like 24 will do. And create like a small cut here, maybe a little bit bigger, and we're going to rotate it around this cursor, okay. So Q, and I go to mesh tools and control click on the radial array. Let's maintain the same size of it, so let's just ever scroll this. Let's not be lazy, right? Let's recover, come on, this cutter, right? Shift D and move it in here. We're gonna remove this displacement and radial array, move it somewhere here like that. And let's see, it was cut in the middle, right? Yeah, perfect. Difference, right? Let's move the cursor here. So Control Alt click this one, Shift S to face. And then we're going to select that one, Q, Mesh Tools, and Control click on the radial array. Boom. And you got the same kind of motif here. Now, we're gonna create some small cuts here in this mesh here. So I'm going to create a cutter. Like that, maybe a bit smaller than this, okay. And I'm going to scale it down, Shift Z, but I'm gonna make this wider here on the top. So grab that, Q and Altium macro, okay, like this, right? So let me see that. That's pretty cool actually. I like that. We could make this a little bit wider, so control let me just go to the face mode and control click that one and Alt S, and you can actually scale it out a little bit like this. I think it's gonna be a bit better, yeah. And this one could be copied. So what you want to do is you want to copy this in edit mode, because if you do that, you don't have to cut it again, right? So go to edit mode, press A to select everything, and literally Shift D that, Shift D here, Shift D that somewhere here, Shift D that here, Shift D that, you know, somewhere here, Shift D that to the top, and maybe somewhere here, and another one here, so it's not so uniform. And there you go. That looks pretty cool to me. Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. That looks pretty awesome. It's kind of like a mechanical sort of, you know, bit from an engine or some kind of an engine block. Looks pretty cool. Very neat piece, very good exercise. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.